代わりにこいつを運転してくれ。
本当の戦いはこれからだ。
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? Welcome to the video. Now today's video, it's gonna be a little bit of fitness, it's gonna be a little bit of PT school, so if you like both those things, hang on to your hats because it's gonna be a fun little ride. But today we're gonna be talking about my diet and what I've been doing for my diet in regards to what I'm doing throughout clinicals. Now yes, I have been dieting through my clinical rotation with the goal of still trying to cut weight. As you guys may or may not know, I was set to compete in my first bodybuilding competition. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of update about that later. But first, we're going to talk about clinicals, how clinicals is going. So as you guys might know, I'm already deep into the middle of clinicals, treating patients regularly, working 8 hours a day. Now initially, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty stressful. It was a huge workload that I was not used to. And I would say that the workload hasn't necessarily gotten better. I think I've just gotten better at handling it.
That I'm not sure of because in the study it did not specify anything about that. Mirror therapy.
All in all though, I would say I'm learning a lot, I'm having fun, and man, I'm just really thankful for having this opportunity just to learn at this clinical site. I had my first few experiences with treating people via telehealth. Okay. Oh no, my first telehealth patient didn't want me there. Is it because I'm ugly? I just recently had my midterm CPI, and if you guys aren't familiar with CPI, if you're not a PT student, CPI is the Clinical Performance Instrument. It's essentially the grading tool that your CI uses to grade you at the midterm and at the final, at the end of your clinical, just to assess how far along you've come in certain categories in terms of becoming an entry-level physical therapist and meeting the requirements and expectations. So that was pretty scary, just to get the evaluation done and just to get some feedback, but you know, it went better than I thought it would, and I'm happy about my progress, and I'm excited to see how far I'm going to come by the end of the clinical. Now I left off the last video. I'm sure you guys are wondering why the hell was I in some big ass scrubs. Well, the story behind that is that we had a patient come in and they had a bed bug on their clothes, and my CI caught it. So after that, me and my CI had to change out of our clothes and we had to change into these big ass scrubs. They just looked gigantic on me. It was so funny, and it was even funnier on my CI because she's shorter, and it was just like an extra large. It was a great way to start my week off. Now, other than that, other updates. Now if you guys didn't know, I was slated to be a candidate for the Director of Communications for the APTA Student Assembly Board of Directors, which is like a higher up APTA board member for all students. I was really excited to be nominated for that opportunity and be slated, meaning I was one of the final 3 candidates, which was kind of crazy to me. I never expected myself to be in that kind of role. So right now is a live panel for the APTA National Student Conclave. I'm so nervous to talk because they're gonna ask us a fun question, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm gonna blank and not know what to say, so I'm just really wound up and nervous. So I think my song of choice would be 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. I just think he has such good energy, and I feel like that would be a great walk-on song just to replicate that kind of energy, you know, with the blazer and the hat, that kind of thing. I think I'd enjoy that. Okay, that didn't go as poorly as I thought. Those questions weren't bad. Good job, guys. Good job, fellow Director of Communication candidates. We did it. Funny thing about that, we just recently had the election results announced, and shout out to Lindsay Durand. You guys should check her out. Lindsay has a great Instagram, great content. She's a really great advocate for the PT profession. So that's why the second I saw that I was running against her, I was like, I'm definitely gonna lose. But yeah, Lindsay, you deserve this position. I'm excited to see what you do with it, and I'm excited for you. Really think that you of all people deserve that position, and you're gonna be great. I doubt she watches my videos, but there's a shout out for you, girl. Anyways, let's get to the main part of the video, which is what my diet is like during clinicals. So, to start off, we have some breakfast. Most important meal of the day, serving it up Gary's way. I typically don't eat breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast person, but with clinicals, I realized that I really need some food in my stomach in order for my brain to function as best as I can. So I started waking up early and I started making breakfast. To start off the day, I make some liquid egg whites and 2 packets of protein oatmeal. Now, if you guys watched my previous video on my diet, it's going to be pretty similar, but there's going to be some stuff that's cut out because I'm trying to steadily reduce my calories throughout my cut. Now, the macros for my breakfast are as follows. We have 530 calories, 62 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fat, and 54 grams of protein. Moving on to my lunch. Now, during my lunch, my CI gives me a bunch of crap because a lot of the time I'm just barely eating my lunch, and sometimes I just literally sip on a Gatorade or a protein shake. So for lunch, I typically alternate between ground turkey or ground beef. I meal prep all my lunches on Sundays. I usually get that ground meat, mix it with some pasta sauce, and I used to eat it with pasta, but I don't anymore because I'm trying to reduce my carbs. I have 2 scoops of protein for a protein shake with water. Now, personally, I've never been a protein shake with water kind of guy. I've always been a protein shake with milk kind of guy, but you know, it wasn't that hard of a transition, I guess, but I still prefer milk, guys. You let me know in the comments down below, what do you prefer, protein with milk or with water? And keep in mind, I'm lactose intolerant, and that's how much I like it. Now, one mistake that I realized I've been making, guys, when I'm meal prepping is that I've been weighing my meat wrong. So I've initially thought that you have to weigh out the cooked meat, and that's what you're going to be inputting into MyFitnessPal or whatever calorie tracker you're using. However, you're supposed to be using the pre-cooked weight of the meat, and that's what you're supposed to be measuring and distributing, and I've been doing it wrong. So technically, I've been underestimating my calories and underestimating my protein. So that is kind of why I think my cut hasn't been going as quickly as I want it to go, eating more calories than I'm tracking. So that's a rookie mistake, and I'm glad I was finally able to correct it and learn from it. Anyways, down to the macros for lunch. So this is the rough estimates. Like I said, there are some variants. Sometimes I add in some kale or spinach or mushrooms, but overall with my lunch, I have 610 calories, 14 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, and 118 grams of protein. Like I said, sometimes I split that up, so I eat half of it during my work day and half at home when I come back from the gym. Now, to end the day off, I like to eat a little bit of casein protein right before I go to sleep. I'm actually eating some right now in this cup here, but what I do is I have 2 servings or 226 grams of cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese. We're trying to watch that figure now, okay? We have that because I explained in a previous video, casein protein before you go to sleep is good for enhancing muscle protein synthesis while you're sleeping, and so that's why I eat that. Macros for this bad boy, 160 calories, 12 grams of carbs, 0 grams of fat, and 26 grams of protein. Now, put that all together, guys, and my total macros for the day are as follows. 1,300 calories per day. That is not a lot. 88 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fat, and 198 grams of protein. Now, this is the diet that I've been sticking with for the last few weeks. However, guys, there are some updates. There's some news I gotta share with you. So I initially wanted to do this bodybuilding competition, so I signed up in early summer, and then I found out that I could not leave the state to travel to Texas because that's where the competition was, because that would be against the travel ban. I would have to quarantine for 14 days, and I couldn't go to clinicals, and I really was stuck with the fact that I had to weigh out those options of just try to sneak it and risk it and try to compete anyways, or just suck it up, don't do it, maybe do another one, and then go to clinicals and don't get in trouble. So obviously I chose that one because I'm not trying to set my career, set my schooling back any way whatsoever. So I unfortunately had to drop out of that competition, which made me really sad. So instead, in light of that, I signed up for a competition here in Chicago, but guess what, guys? Guess friggin' what? That got canceled too. And it was shitty because I was emailing the guy to say, hey, is this still on? Hey, is this still on, like every week or so? And he never got back to me. Or he got back to me once, and he said, yeah, everything should be good to go, but I'll get back to you with more details. A couple weeks, 3 weeks I think before the competition, mind you, this is supposed to be on Halloween, I get an Instagram message from my friend, and he's like, hey dude, what competition are you doing? I'm like, okay, this one. And he's like, dude, I looked at their website, it says it got canceled. And I was like, are you for real? Like, the guy didn't even message me to inform me that it was canceled. That was kind of a bummer. So after that, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little sad. Like, I had trouble sticking to my diet afterwards because I didn't see a point. I started succumbing to my desires and I started snacking all the time. Like, I was not gonna lie, I was snacking here and there at the office.
What number is this?
6, okay? It's my 6th donut. Sometimes I would go home after the work and I'd go to 7-Eleven to get some snacks. And on the weekends, I would probably eat some junk food, like some ice cream, some McDonald's. Like, gotta have me some McDonald's on the weekends. And I was just not caring anymore because, like, it felt shitty because all my hard work had gone down the toilet. I felt really good about myself, really confident in all the hard work that I put in for like 3-4 months. It was just shitty for that to happen, but you know, I learned from this experience. Thank you to everyone that reached out to me. I even did Instagram live for this, and I normally don't ever do that kind of thing. It's okay. I learned from the experience. I've grown all the more better for it. I got decently shredded. Now that it's all over, I can eat whatever I want. I can be a little naughty. I'd like to officially announce the end of my cut, guys. I'm done trying to lose weight. I'm going back on the bulk. Yeah, thank you for everyone that supported my journey. If there's another bodybuilding competition that actually happens in the near future, maybe in like 2021, I'll be ready for it. So, thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Later, guys.